And there's just a couple choruses and lines where there's rhymes that are so, like, I don't understand why she couldn't have thought of something smarter. Oof. Time for some opinions. Hi, my name is Julie. Notice the lack of E. I have a lot of opinions about music. In the past, I've made videos about the best and worst One Direction songs, why Sweetener by Ariana Grande should not have won a Grammy, and I've made 2 videos in a series I call Hire a Better Writer, where I go through the catalog of an artist's songs and talk about all the times that they could have and should have hired a better writer. I talked about Bazzi and Cardi B in respects to that, and there are a lot of other people I could also talk about. But today, I'm gonna talk about T-Swizzle, our fave girl, T-Swift. So her newest album, Lover, came out a couple days ago, and I want to talk about it. You may disagree with me in the comments below. I seriously want to go through every song and talk about some notable lyrics, and then just discuss the general themes of the album and what I think she did well and what I think she did poorly on. I think that the album Lover is a great convergence between 1989 pop sensibilities with the lyrical craft of Red done even better. Like, ooh, I think that Lover is not only a return to Taylor Swift's original poeticism, but it's an expansion in her skill of lyrical craft. Some of the metaphors throughout this album are just so sharp. But as all Taylor Swift albums go, there's the one blaring song that is completely unnecessary for her to have ever released. So I'll talk about what I believe that song is later on. First song, I Forgot That You Existed. I think this song is really smart, really funny. I think it's just like cool little easy bop. Like, it's definitely not her best, but I think there's a lot of fun little moments in it, and I love the way that she talks when she says, "It's just indifference." Notable line, lived in the shade you were throwing till all my sunshine was gone. I think that was a kind of cool wordplay, but I think in this song we see one of the first examples of one of the ways this album could have been better, which is lazy rhymes. I just think it's interesting that Taylor Swift has so many tight, rich metaphors. The dense concentration of obviously meticulously thought out lyrics make the lyrics that aren't as good really stand out. And there's just a couple choruses and lines where there's rhymes that are so, like, I don't understand why she couldn't have thought of something smarter, because she thinks of something smarter than anyone could have thought of in so many other lines. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts about that. I think that the line, "It was so nice, so peaceful and quiet," is like a pretty lazy rhyme to me. I think she could have thought of something a lot smarter and still kept a balance between being well thought out while not densely poetic. I think that she could have done that a lot better. Speaking of which, the second song, Cruel Summer. What was interesting to me about the song is that there was a lot of really rich, really interesting metaphors throughout the verses, but then in the chorus, she totally like skimped out. The pre-chorus is, "Devils roll the dice, angels roll their eyes." Oh, that like just like, wordplay is like my favorite thing in the world. Just the way that you can use the same word twice, but it means a different thing in the different context, and it links them together, and it's just like so satisfying. Ooh. Just love songwriting. Devils roll their dice, angels roll their eyes. What doesn't kill me makes me want you more. Also playing with the concept of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Kind of this whole wordplay with that cliche, but turning it into like a really interesting idea. And it's so good. But then in the chorus, she rhymes "ooh, whoa, whoa" with "cruel summer." There's just literally, I just have a really hard time respecting a rhyme if one part of it is not a real word. Taylor Swift is a genius wordsmith. Like a genius wordsmith. Then she chooses to rhyme the key line, the title word of the chorus, with a non-word. So I was a little disappointed there. Okay, let's talk about Lover, the actual song. I want to know if other people feel the same way. Part of me felt like this production was kind of like a little bit cheesy to me. Part of me just felt like the guitar and the drum and the piano together made it sound a little bit like kitschy. And I don't know, it just like didn't feel right to me. I honestly think that the entirety of this song until the bridge is kind of weak and kind of lazy. Taylor Swift is absolutely brilliant at finding the balance between honest, true, straight up lyrics and really intentionally crafted poetic lyrics. I think that she's really good at making that balance, but sometimes she really like slips. And I think that in order to make something feel really genuine, she sacrifices the lyrical craft in it. I also think the way the word lover hits, it's really weak to me. Like, please someone else agree with me on this. It doesn't rhyme with anything. It doesn't clean up well. There's just like this build up and then it's just like lover. That's not a word that needs to be built up to. Why I feel like I can say that about the entirety of the song until the bridge is because I actually think that the bridge shows that she's clearly able to say really cute, really genuine, really sentimental things that are still well written. Because ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand? With every guitar string scar on my hand, I take this magnetic force of a man to be my lover. That made me like legit cry the first time I heard it. Basically, I just don't understand why she didn't make the rest of Lover sound like the bridge in terms of lyrical craft. Why is there marks on my freaking... Okay, number 4, The Man. This song slaps. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe how good this song is. Literally, even just like from the first line, I would be complex, I would be cool. They said I played the field before I found someone to commit to. Like, it's just like so good. And the thing that also makes it good is that it's like absolutely true. Successes in her life, relationally, socially, musically, are things that if she was a man would be received very differently. What I was wearing if I was rude could all be separated from my good ideas and power moves. Ooh, that is like, this is an example of straight up saying something that's conversational. Like, that's not like a metaphor or anything, but it's still well written, rhymes well, makes sense, and is like very articulate and interesting to say. Okay, it's time for The Archer. This song is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. There is like an endless depth to analyzing the metaphors and wordplay in this song, because cruelty wins in the movies. I've got 100 thrown out speeches I almost said to you. And just like the correlation between movies and the speeches, because you give speeches at movie awards. I wake in the night, I pace like a ghost, the room is on fire, invisible smoke, and all of my heroes die all alone. Help me hold on to you. And even just the concept of I've been the archer, I've been the prey attests to a theme of Taylor's character that you can see throughout this album, which is her taking responsibility and accountability for things in her life and handling them with a mature and empathetic perspective. I'm just gonna put this out there. I think He Knows, sonically, lyrically, is an airtight, delicious pop masterpiece. It is so good. Almost has like a little bit of a Prince vibe in the chorus. Just like so deliciously fun, and it's so well written. I think He Knows, this hands around a cold glass make me want to know that body like it's mine. My favorite part is I got that I mean wanna see what's under that attitude. That's so funny and clever, and like the way that it catches your attention in the middle of the chorus while also being a really smart lyrical concept. It's so good. All right, Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. So at first I was like, what is this song? What's going on? But then the more I listened to it, I was like, dang, this is really high craft poeticism. And also you could spend weeks analyzing and evaluating the metaphors and motifs in this song. The whole school is rolling fake dice. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I'm feeling helpless, the damsels are depressed, boys will be boys, then where are the wise men? It's a good one, man. It's for sure a good one. Okay, Paper Rings. It's kind of reminiscent of like a Red Age song. Went home and tried to stalk you on the internet, now I've read all the books beside your bed. I thought that was really smart. I think the way that Taylor Swift finds new ways to talk about relationship milestones is really interesting and clever. You Are in Love, one of the songs in the deluxe version of 1989, showcases this really perfectly. She just talks about a bunch of really specific, really real moments that a lot of people will have in relationships, or that she's had in her relationships. All like concrete things that are kind of mundane that communicate different relationship milestones or emotional vulnerability or the act of knowing someone. And she just continually finds new metaphors and new ways to tell stories about that. I think she does that pretty well in Paper Wings. Now we've come to Cornelia Street. I'm sorry, dudes. I think that Cornelia Street is the lamest song on this album, and not just because of like the song itself. I just think it does nothing for her or this album as a whole. Like, it's not a super original idea, it's not that interesting. There's like some nice melodies. Baby, I can't miss it, how this is yeah, like that's, yeah, it's like fun, it's nice. It's kind of sonically and thematically very unoriginal. And to someone as good and iconic at writing as Taylor Swift, I think it's a throwaway song. I don't know, we can fight later. Okay, Death by a Thousand Cuts. I didn't initially like this song very much, and I thought that it was kind of a throwaway song. But the more I listened to it, the more that I realized there's a lot of really interesting metaphors in this song. And I think that even just the concept of a breakup being death by a thousand cuts, that's a very interesting metaphor, and you could really like delve into all the different ways that that metaphor works. I look through the windows of this love, even though we boarded them up. I think the bridge is so good. My heart, my hips, my body, my love, trying to find a part of me that you didn't touch, gave up on me like I was a bad drug. Now I'm searching for signs in a haunted club. Our songs, our films, united we stand. Our country, guess it was a lawless land. Ooh, you said it was a great love, one for the ages, but if the story's over, why am I still writing pages? Also, I think it's very sonically interesting, like the ha, 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 ha. I think there's an interesting juxtaposition between the way it sounds and what it's actually about. I think Lemon Boy is really funny and really cute. I kind of resent the fact that it sounds really similar to This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. So yeah, I thought it was a really cute, fun song. That's a good example of how she leans into speculation about herself with such a clever, tongue-in-cheek attitude. Okay, Soon You'll Get Better. I found out that it was actually a real story about her mom dealing with cancer. Holy orange bottles, each night I pray to you. Desperate people find faith, so now I pray to Jesus too. I thought that was really beautiful. I know delusion when I see it in the mirror. False God is actually maybe one of my favorite songs on the album. It's super sonically interesting the way that there's like a saxophone in it. It's chocked full of absolutely brilliant metaphors. We were stupid to jump in the ocean separating us. Staring out the window like I'm not your favorite town. I'm New York City. I still do it for you. We might just get away with it. Religion's in your lips. Even if it's a false god, we'd still worship. The altar is my hips. Just like, the richness of the metaphors, the richness of her being aware that her relationship is unhealthy in this way. I think this song is so good. I think You Need to Calm Down was a very smart song for her to release. I think that it was something that was smart for her to do for her career. Also the pre-chorus of I'm not trying to mess with your self-expression, but I've learned to listen to stressing and obsessing about somebody else is no fun. So good, so tight. I also think that the way she plays with the metaphor of step on my gown is really smart and interesting. She says, don't step on my gown, and then she says, don't step on his gown. In one sense, it's a metaphor about don't ruin someone's good time, but it's also like, don't step on the actual gown that a man is wearing, because the whole song is about the LGBTQ community. So the way she plays with that, I think is really smart and funny. Okay, The Afterglow. I think it's another example of Taylor Swift taking accountability for her actions, marking this era of her career. It's not about anger or revenge, it's about being responsible for everything and being empathetic with other people. I think that I blew things out of proportion, now you're blue. The way that she played with that homonym was really smart. The metaphor in the pre-chorus is so good. Fighting with a true love is boxing with no gloves. Chemistry till it blows up. Because like chemistry experiments blow up. Even just like the idea of meet me in the afterglow. After this fire, after this burn up, this explosion of a fight between two people. Meet me in that glow of like the flames going down when there's peace restored again. Me is the bane of my existence. I have never liked it. It literally made me like question Taylor Swift's writing abilities for a time in my life. I'm sorry, I think it's so bad. I think there are hardly any original ideas, metaphors, lyrics, chords in the entire song. This song, for me, I don't know how you guys feel. It's like you can't even indulge in just having like a fun moment with it because it gives me like cringe chills. Like I genuinely thought when she released it that it was a joke. Like she wrote it ironically. But that being said, I think it was a really smart career move for her to be with Brendon Urie and like to just kick off the vibe of Lover. But yeah, that's how I feel about Me. Please fight out in the comments whether or not you disagree with me. It's Nice to Have a Friend is super sweet, super beautiful. It almost feels like a New Year's Day, and just like the way that it's a love story throughout the years. How she accomplishes communicating that in such simple, minimalistic ways. And also the way how in the beginning it talks about sidewalk chalk on the ground, like snow or whatever. And then with the rice on the ground looks like snow. It's just like so simple and super beautiful. And also it's produced in a really interesting way. Okay, last song, Daylight. My love was as cool as the cities I lived in. Everyone looked worse in the light. There are so many lines that I've crossed unforgiven. I'll tell you the truth, but never goodbye. Damn, sis. Sister snapped. Luck of the draw only draws the unlucky. Ooh! And so I became the butt of the joke. I wounded the good and I trusted the wicked. Clearing the air, I breathed in the smoke. Maybe you ran with the wolves and refused to settle down. Maybe I've stormed out of every single room in this town. Throughout our cloaks and our daggers because it's morning now. Dude, overall I think this is a really sweet song, and I think there's a lot of really rich, really beautiful poeticism in this. And I think it's a good song to end the album and to close off the entire sentiment of the album. So that was my very long analysis and opinions about Lover by Taylor Swift. Tell me if you agree or disagree. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Fight it out with each other. I haven't decided what I think Taylor Swift's best album is, but I think that Lover has a really high number of songs that are just like super f***ing good. I feel like in Reputation she kind of threw out a lot of her old ways of lyricism, and for her to come back even richer and stronger than ever is really encouraging to me about her abilities, because you know I just like want to believe that T Swift is so good. And she did not let me down with Lover. She really, really, really did not. Thank you for listening. Haha. Please check out my singles. A couple of my friends told me that I Think He Knows sounds like it was written by me. And that is like the highest compliment in the world. So check out my singles and tell me if you agree. Please subscribe to this channel. Please watch all my videos and go listen to Lover. Have a great day.